Hello, it's Dan here doing a first impressions for the Warlords on Burst channel. Yes, when we do get into things, we get into it by storm. Today, just me, we're going to be looking and talking about Killing Floor. This is a game on Steam. You can buy it for £15, or you can get a very good sale pack for just under £20, which includes all the DLC characters. Definitely worth getting, I would say, in the long run. To start off with, it's a shooter. Something akin you might find is Left 4 Dead, but not. Left 4 Dead has a much more narrative feel to it. This is much more sort of skirmish based. You will go into one map, you survive for a certain amount of rounds, and you will face the boss, and then you will leave. There's no real narrative to it, as in there's no campaigns. Each sort of map has its own little bit of story, but nothing too much. So, in game, there is, I think it's 6 classes you can choose from, and each one sort of goes with a different, style of play. There's your support, which can use your shotguns. You can also weld some doors and such. You get commando, which is assault rifles. Marksman, who's your more precision-based shooter. Berserker, who works with melee. Pyro, who works with the fiery stuff. And for some strange reason, the Mach 10. There is the Demo Man, who will specialize in things like grenade launchers and pretty much obviously your explosives. And Medic, who is obviously a medic. Each one you can rank up in this particular perk, and your character gets better as you go. For example, but each has its own unique challenge. For example, support requires you to do a certain amount of damage with shotguns and heal a certain amount of door hit points, which is the support's big thing. In terms of actual gameplay, I quite enjoy the game. Definitely fun. The controls are quite simple. It's your pretty much standard shooter. You can choose weapons. You get dual wield. You get well, running over the weapons really quickly. You can get 9mm and hand cannons for your pistols, both of which are dual wieldable. You can get shotguns, assault rifles, some submachine guns, melee weapons, things like that, snipers, and rifles. Excuse me. And each one sort of goes up. So, in terms of shotguns, you start off with just a plain shotgun pump action, which then moves into a double-barreled, which is lower clip. I think it's a bit of a slower reload. Sorry, no, a fast reload, because you have to manually sort of shell for the shotgun. But it's higher damage, but smaller clip. And then you move into the AA-12, which is fully automatic and has a massive clip. It has a fairly big clip. So each one gets better and better as you go, though some people do prefer the lower end weapons for various reasons. This is not a solo player game. I'm going to put that out there right now. The game is much more enjoyable with friends. The actual footage you'll be seeing is, well, it's me and Niche DYP playing in the game, and well, it's mainly me failing and Niche being good at what he does. So as you can see, it's this sort of game. In the game, you will play a variety of characters. If you include the DLC packs, you can play from anyone from a chav to like a bioengineered superhuman, to a priest, to a DJ who went on the run from the military. Lots of different characters, very cool character designs. Niche is playing either the father or the Reverend, or DJ Scully. DJ Scully being the man with all the skulls all over him, and the Reverend being the one with the cross. I am playing Agent Wilkes, who is a bioengineered man, and he stole like a test suit of armor and such, that sort of thing. A very cool character. I like it a lot. He's definitely the grim, darky sort of military style I like. In the game, you're not fighting zombies. You're fighting specimens, and a specimen is well, frankly, it's a person who was experimented on by, I think it's Horizon. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure of the lore here, but they were experimented on, and they became these mindless monsters. And there was this massive outbreak, pretty much everywhere. And you keep somehow getting caught in the middle of it, and you need to you're either brought in to sort it out, or you crash in the middle of an infested zone and things such as that. It's simple. It's simple, but it works. I mean, you're not playing it for the story. It's not an RPG. It's a shooter, survival shooter, horror shooter, and frankly, you just want to get stuck into the zombies with the biggest gun as physically possible. So, I'm not sure what else I can say right now. As I say, controls are nice and simple. I don't have too many gripes with the game. I have a personal gripe with the slow motion that you can sometimes get, which if you get, like, I'm not sure what triggers it. I think sometimes a kill will just trigger it. I'm not 100% sure what causes it. I'll do my best to look it up, and I'll stick it in an annotation when I actually find out. But what happens is, this also applies in multiplayer, and anyone who gets Z times is slowed down as well. Everyone slows down. My issue is I'm not particularly fast reflexes, so, you know, whenever someone else gets Z time, it's like, what just happened? Z time ends, I'm getting munched by a zombie. Sorry, a specimen. That's a personal gripe, and it's nothing to do with the actual game. The game is sound. As I said, there's very little to actually, you know, comment on in a bad way. I'm not particularly good at this, but yeah, as I said, it's a game worth looking into as a co-op experience. As far as I know, you can't play as a specimen, which would be a very cool thing, something akin to the versus mode in Left 4 Dead, but I don't know if that would actually suit the nature of it. But it would be something quite cool in my own opinion, because I would frankly like to run about as something big bad and, you know, big bad and ugly, and try and kill off the survivors. Though I'm not sure how that would work, if it would fit. That comes down to, I think it would just be cool to try. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a mod out there for it. So in the actual game, what happens is such, you fight it off a certain amount of waves, depending on how long you decide the game to be. I think you can go from something like 3 rounds to like 15, I'm not 100% sure. But we are fighting at like 7 rounds in this footage. We're not doing too well, mainly it's my fault, but, you know. And between each round, a trader will be in the map, and you have to move to there before the end of the round, preferably, because it only stays open for a minute. And if you're not careful, then the actual trader will close before you're able to buy anything. You get money. You get a like a bounty bonus for every, you know, specimen you kill. The bigger specimen earning you more points. Sorry, more money. And then you go buy your stuff. You buy ammo. You can buy armor, grenades, guns, melee weapons, things like that. And then you put it to work killing specimens. At the end of each game, you will go through, for example, in a 3-round game, you will go through 3 rounds, and then there will be a final 4th round, which, excuse me, has the Patriarch, which is the big bad boss of the game, and he can be tough to take down on the higher difficulty levels, definitely. He can heal himself, he can cloak, he has a chain gun. He's not fun to take on, but I have to give him, you know, one sort of point in his favour. He has the most lol-worthy lines of dialogue I've heard in a while. His voice is just immaculate. There's one point, one of his lines is, "You have killed my children," and he roars, and the way he does it, it's just like a 3-year-old going roar. It's so strange and so stupidly funny just to watch. Sorry to listen to, but you know, it's a real good game. It's kind of, well, it's a lot of fun, and frankly, if you £15–20 to spare, you could definitely put it into a lot worse things. Like, I don't know, you could buy a WoW time card. Okay, that was actually kind of hateful to the World of Warcraft fans. Let's not do that, because they can kill me. It's a good game, I have to admit, and if you're going to get it, I would seriously splash out the extra $5 to get all the character packs, because they have some pretty cool ones. Some of my personal favourites is obviously Agent Wilkes. Trooper Clive, I think his name is quite cool too. He's got a pretty much a military uniform with a beret. He's pretty badass looking. There's a lot of cool looking characters. This is a game you will play with your friends, and if you get a bunch of them together, get a headset going, get a chat, and see as you're sitting, you know, fighting off the horde, it's a lot of fun. I remember once a actual match with me, Andrew, Osai, and Niche. We were fighting, I don't even remember the name of the map, but we had to get to the top floor, and it was us 3, and the others who joined our game were sort of stuck because we went on ahead, and I got caught. So, you know, we'd sealed up the doors, and I was a support, so I had to run up as Niche and Osai are defending my back, and have to unweld the door, and then the guys just sort of pour in. I'm just screaming, "Get in!" And, you know, then we just sort of fought everything off by hand, and it was quite awesome. It was definitely one of my favourite matches. But yeah, definitely worth looking into. I'm not really sure what else I could say here, because it's me. I mean, do I ever know what I'm really saying? Let's be honest here. Pretty short for a first review, I suppose. I'm going to sum up then. The game is your traditional sort of survival shooter. It's a lot of fun. It takes place in Britain. All the characters are British, which is a complaint I kind of have. There's no different voice actors. Now I understand, I'm not sure who actually published and made this, so they might have been very low budget, it might have been an indie-ish title. The problem I have is there's literally the one voice actor. So, see when you're sort of defending, and everyone has to reload, all you can hear is cover me, I'm reloading, and can't you see I'm reloading, in the one same voice. So I wouldn't mind if maybe they'd like even two sort of different actors, and it was sort of randomized, you know, whoever got whatever voice, because then it wouldn't be so annoying. But like, all I could hear every time I was playing is just the same voice saying, oh, I'm reloading, oh, did you see that, you know, whatever. Very irritating in some way, but not the biggest complaint in the world. But yeah, so all the characters are British. You get some very cool looking models, more so if you get the DLC packs. Not much else to say. I think I'll actually I'll leave it here, because frankly, you know, I can't really say much else. This is Dan, Inquisitor, whatever you want to call me, for Warlords on Bears, and we will see you next time.